Yes, Columbus, an Experience Columbus podcast, keeping you in the know on what's happening in the capital city. Named a top 10 culinary destination in the world and a top 10 best big city in the U.S. by Condé Nast, we invite you to uncover what's new and what's next for our city. Join iHeartMedia's Boxer and Sarah Towns, Experience Columbus's Chief Marketing and Innovation Officer, as they connect with in-the-know guests, providing you with endless ideas for exploring Columbus. By the end of each episode, you'll be asking yourself, can all of this really exist in one city? Yes, Columbus. Hello and welcome back to Yes, Columbus, an Experience Columbus podcast. I am one of the co-hosts, Boxer, along with Sarah Towns. How you doing, Sarah?
I'm doing great. Hi, Boxer.
Hello.
Good to see you. Each episode, we shine a spotlight on the people, places, and moments shaping the future of our city. And today's episode continues our Columbus Anniversaries, a celebration of us series, highlighting some of the incredible milestone moments happening right here in our community.
By the way, this is a big one. This episode is a big one because all here today, we are celebrating 50 years of one of Columbus's most iconic dining experiences, the Refectory. So before we dive into that and introduce our guests, I want to start with a quick headliner, something exciting happening in Columbus. And this one feels especially timing, so I think it's appropriate. Columbus's food scene continues to earn national attention. And recently, if you didn't know, it's being named one of Condé Nast Traveler's 10 best food cities in the U.S., coming in at number 7.
Woohoo!
Now, that's great, top 10. But the competitive person in me, I want number 1. I think eventually we'll get there, but top 10.
I think we'll get there. This is still pretty great.
So, and restaurants like the Refectory, of course, have helped build that reputation for decades through world-class cuisine, hospitality, and unforgettable dining experiences.
And when you think about a restaurant reaching 50 years, it really says something about consistency, hospitality, and the kind of experience that stay with people over time. Places like the Refectory become more than restaurants. They become part of people's stories and memories. As I shared with you, it's always the place I go for my special occasions.
I got to tell you, we're really excited about our two guests today. We're joined today by Chef Richard Blondin, who, of course, is the executive chef of the Refectory, whose French culinary artistry has helped make the restaurant one of the most celebrated dining destinations in Columbus.
Wow.
Chef, good to have you here. I know, right? And we also have a privilege of welcoming Kamal Boulos, who is the owner of the Refectory, who has continued the restaurant's legacy of warm hospitality and exceptional dining experiences for guests over the years. Chef Richard and Kamal, welcome to Yes, Columbus podcast.
Our pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you for being here. So for our listeners who may not be as familiar, can you give us the big picture? How did it all begin? And what has made the Refectory such an important part of Columbus dining for 50 years?
Wow. Well, how did it all begin? I was not there in the very beginning, day one, 1976, but I did work there part-time, because I was connected with the investors of that enterprise. And it was at that time called the Old Church House Restaurant. And that operated from 1976 till 1980. And then it didn't do very well financially, but it got some pretty good accolades locally. It was a small 60-seat restaurant at that time. And then in 1981, it evolved to become the Refectory, and it was bought out by two gentlemen who have since passed away. And so they have had it for about 10 years, and then they sold it to me in 1991. And the very first thing I did, 1992, a year later, Richard and I started working together.
Oh, that's awesome.
Wow.
You said almost 34 years, right?
Yeah, he did it all. I just jumped in.
Oh, that's amazing. So on a personal level, what does it mean to both of you to be part of a restaurant with this kind of legacy?
Well, it feels good.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. It's I think I'm lucky to be part of it. And 34 years, it's not 50, but I don't know if I'm going to make it till 50 myself.
Oh, I think you look pretty good. I
You
think
look
so.
great.
But we're going to try to keep going this way and make sure that we stay where we are now, or maybe better.
Yeah, it's been very humbling. I mean, nobody goes any place and says to themselves, I think I'll work here for the next 30 or 40 years.
Yeah,
True.
true. That's very true. Yeah.
And it's just providential that we had a group of amazingly talented people that hung together for many years. The two of us being the last of the four people that were sort of involved in that journey. And what's really amazing is that none of those people, although they all pursued excellence in their own way, none of us really did it in a way that advanced self. And you couldn't plan for that. I mean, it was just so providential. I mean, there was no egos in the room. We just all loved what we did.
Yeah.
And we did it with a passion, and we really just relentlessly pursued what we did in the best possible way to contribute it to the whole.
That's awesome.
What a great story. Chef Richard, if we could, you came to Ohio from France. Whereabouts in France again? Where are you from?
Lyon.
Lyon. So we talked about that already 34 years ago. My question to you is, with what you learned and what you define at the Refectory, how do you balance those iconic classic dishes from France alongside with continuing to innovate the current food scene in Columbus?
Well, I just take my basic stuff that I learned when I was younger, and I apply it to the restaurant, and just add touches that I picked up, and walking my dog, or not sleeping well in the middle of the night, thinking about a new menu, a new item. The farmer comes to our door, so sometimes he has something in the track that brings idea, and so all this is added to the basic French cooking, which is, I feel like what I'm strong at, and everything else is just blend in, and it's just close your eyes and okay, what can I do with this peach, or how can I incorporate this special master to this classic sauce, and always looking for also a contrast of color, texture. It's almost like a painting that you have the plate is your frame, and you just work with that and just use your mind.
Yeah.
Your plating is so gorgeous.
Right.
Whenever you feel like you don't want to eat it because it's so pretty.
It's so pretty.
But then you have to because it's so delicious.
You don't get offended when people take pictures of, because that's the in thing to do is take pictures.
Love that.
I bet.
No,
It
no.
must be an honor. It must be a good compliment if they're taking pictures.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he's a true culinary artist. I mean, he's amazing. Every few weeks, he's doing something that he's never done before. And I asked him one day, we had this, I've got to tell this story really quickly. We had this appetizer on the menu. This was some years ago. And it was a pork belly surrounded with artichoke hearts and this pastry. And I said to him, I said, how did you put this together? Because people loved it. He just ran it as a special. I said, and people loved it so much, we put it on the menu for a while. He said, truly? I said, yeah. He said, I was in the walk-in cooler, and I saw the pork belly, and then my eyes saw the artichoke hearts, and I thought, I wonder if that'll work.
Oh my gosh. That's so great. Such a talent.
I just want to add real quick, Sarah, I'm as someone who, you interview artists, musicians all the time and creative people, I'm always fascinated about where you get your ideas for things. And you just talked about walking the dog, or I'll have musicians say, oh, I was taking a shower and the lyrics came to me. And it's mind blowing where you get your ideas.
Yes. Well, walking the dog is a big one.
Being outside in nature,
Well,
right?
you see the duck, you see the frogs and the rabbit. They're all together, so maybe they could work together on a plate.
That's very French. That sounds very French.
Isn't it?
The Columbus dining scene has changed so much over the years, but the Refectory has remained one of the city's most respected fine dining destinations throughout all of it. What do you think has allowed the restaurant to stay so timeless? But I think you've also been talking about how you're constantly changing things and where you're drawing inspiration from. So what has allowed it to remain so timeless in our community?
I'm not sure.
The talent.
Well,
I need help here.
I think clearly, there's no question that we are there today because of his culinary artistry. There's no question that that's a huge piece. But I also think that we create a dining experience that's unlike others. And when I say unlike others, not that others don't do great food, but I think we put elements together that are not normally out there. We, I believe, are in the hospitality business. Mm-hmm. We're not in the restaurant business, and there's a difference. Hospitality says, we want to create an extraordinary experience for you, and we want you to feel comfortable. Stay as long as you'd like. Mm. We're not going to rush you. You enjoy the experience at your pace. We have an extraordinary wine list. We have extraordinary service. We have an amazing chef, and we want you to relax, take a deep breath. And this is a sanctuary. This is a place. It's a jungle out there. You're safe here. And that's different. We're not driven by numbers. We're not trying to get you to spend as much as humanly possible. We're not trying to turn the tables. We're trying to create an experience where you can just relax and enjoy connecting with one another across the table, where you can converse. You don't have to shout across the table. Mm. And so that's different. That's the hospitality business.
Well, on the heels of that, Kamal, I know that's one of the things that comes up time and time again with people who have been there, myself and my wife, is guests talk about just not just the food, but the hospitality. Did that, when you purchased the Refectory, was that something that you wanted from day one? How do you continue to make that experience so famous, if you will?
Well, I was fortunate enough to have a very good incubator when I was younger. I worked at a place called Lake Mohonk, M-O-H-O-N-K, in upstate New York. The dining room sat 750 people, and I was only 14 years old, and I was only allowed to work there because my classmates' parents owned the place. It's on top of 7,000 acres. I mean, think of like Nemacolin, the Greenbrier, that kind of a resort.
Oh.
And it was amazing. And they were incredibly guest-centric. And that just drove my heart and soul. And the owner's son, who was my classmate, you wouldn't know that he was the owner's son unless you knew him. But he had a much different mindset, a much different work ethic, a much different attention to detail. He always saw the 30,000-foot view of what it meant to really drive the guest experience. And that became me. If I had been 14 years old and worked around places or people that really hated what they were doing and moaned and groaned and gossiped about everybody, that could have become me. Mm. So I was very fortunate. I just had a great incubator. And never in a million years did I dream that would set my chart in life, course in life. But that's what happened.
That is so cool. Yeah. And, we've kind of talked about how the restaurant has become part of people's lives and memories. You have welcomed generations of guests celebrating major milestones and moments. What does that mean? Especially being so hospitality focused.
Yeah, it's hard to describe. I mean, we've been a part of people's lives forever. I mean, we're open on Christmas Eve. And there were guests that my Christmas Eve is not complete unless they come in and give me a hug. And
I love that.
And there are guests that came, had children, and now their children are bringing their children in for Christmas Eve. Wow. It's insane. 50 years is a long time to be in one place greeting the world that walks through your doors.
Mm-hmm. What a privilege.
Yeah,
that's so
really
amazing.
It really is.
What do you think is about Columbus that has enabled the restaurant to be successful for so many years? Do you feel like this would have happened in other cities? Is there something that's unique about Columbus and our community that's been part of your success?
Well, Columbus, for us, has been an important community to support. And I think supporting the community has been such a driver for us in terms of all the nonprofits and just being involved in the community in that way. And I think they've just embraced the fact that we have something that will always have a place in the dining scene. I mean, they always, over the years, have talked about fine dining not being relevant anymore, but there's always a place for that kind of experience. There's always a place for enjoying the best of that someone can create in terms of food, in terms of service, in terms of experience. And service is just not obtrusive. It just tries to anticipate and delight you in ways that you wouldn't have thought of necessarily. So we're constantly thinking of what that looks like for us. We're constantly learning things about our guests. I mean, if you come into the restaurant, for example, and we note that maybe the husband doesn't drink or the wife doesn't drink, or you like this particular dish that maybe we haven't had on the menu for several years, we'll note that. And the next time you come in, we'll have that information at our fingertips, and we'll try and create that dish for you and not necessarily even tell you in advance. I mean, those are the kind of things that we try to do to delight our guests.
I didn't know you did that. That is
I didn't
really
either.
Cool.
Such a personal level. And can I just say, I'm not dissing this technology at all, but in a world where we use things like AI every single day, what you do, gentlemen, is a human connection.
Yeah.
It's a personal connection
Exactly.
where you don't need AI, you don't need high tech.
Exactly.
You just pay attention to your customers.
Yeah.
That's a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, and we're just relentless about that. And I think there's always going to be a place for that in any community. And we're just fortunate that Columbus has really supported our journey in extraordinary ways over the years.
Chef Richard and Kamal, we've already discussed opening this episode of the accolades that Columbus is getting right now for its food scene. What is it like to live in Columbus and watching this city become even more vibrant with that food scene? And you're a part of it, obviously.
Well, I'm pretty bad because I don't really pay attention to those things, and actually I just learned looking at this right here that we were recognized, not just us, but the city of Columbus was nationally recognized as a food city, and wow, that's pretty nice.
You're a part of that. You're
part of
we
why
you're to
that
blame.
is.
I am, we are. But so that's something new to me, and I'm going to start paying more attention then because I don't know. When you look at magazines or cookbooks like the Food Heart, it's a national magazine, you never see Columbus in there. It's always focused on a big city. Much bigger city. And so magazines are the same thing. I never see anything Columbus. I actually even tell the kitchen staff, I say, those magazines, when is Columbus going to get in there? So I didn't know, but maybe we are getting there.
We are
Yeah,
definitely
we are.
getting there.
Okay.
And we'll be sure that we're giving you those or sharing those accolades with you so you can be proud of that as well, because you are a big part of it.
That's right. Kamal, anything to add to that?
Well, I mean, I grew up on the East Coast, and what I love about Columbus is that it's not congested, and yet we have all the conveniences of enjoying things that a big city has. It's easy to get around, and it's exciting to see how the food scene, the local independent restaurant food scene, has just exploded over the years.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing, and I'm really, really grateful and excited to be a part of that.
Yep, it's awesome.
I was thinking with over 50 years with the Refectory, I'm sure there have been countless unforgettable moments at the Refectory, but are there any stories, gentlemen, that maybe stand out to you with your guests, or memories that stand out that you could talk about? I know you mentioned a little bit of a blanket, Kamal, regarding, paying attention to your guests Christmas Eve. But is there anything that stands out to you with a story or two?
Well, we used to have a customer. Unfortunately, he's not with us anymore. And he was coming to the restaurant not once a week, but let's say once every 2 weeks. And he was always coming back in the kitchen, just saying thank you to everybody in the kitchen. And he was always very generous, and he personally bought me a cookbook every Christmas.
Oh,
And he was a French food fanatic. And he was not a complicated person. He was just looking for something good, old-fashioned food. Well, old-fashioned, I mean classic, so rich in a way, but we miss him. Right?
Aw.
So that's one of the things that stays in the back of my mind, this person.
By the way, how did he get back in the kitchen?
Yeah, I didn't
how
know.
did he-
I
wait.
didn't know we could do that.
I know.
He just walked in. He just walked in.
Oh my gosh, I love
Because
it.
he really wanted to thank personally the people that prepared his food. And it's extraordinary the kind of relationships that we've developed with our guests over the years. Our daughter was born 31 years ago, and we were just showered with gifts from guests that came in, guests that I didn't even know that well.
Mm-hmm.
And they just brought her a gift of some kind. I was just floored that we would have that kind of relationship with guests. Never did I imagine anything like that.
Wow. Is your daughter in the business with you, or?
Thankfully, no. Yeah, I always have couples that come in all the time. My son wants to be a chef. Yeah, send him to me. I'll talk about it. No, I mean, you really have to love.
You
love,
do.
love,
It
Yeah.
has to be a passion.
and you have to love the lifestyle.
Yeah.
And so she's a nurse and loves to volunteer and serve others, and has spent time on the Mercy ship in Africa. And,
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
Well, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So, Chef Richard, are there dishes that have become especially meaningful to you over the years? The ones that guests kind of continue to come back or ask for? Anything you can share there?
Yeah, there's a few, of course. We have a whole Dover sole that we serve tableside. Usually that serves 2 people. We have a escargot terrine that has also been on the menu for a long time, and I think people ask for that. There's there's also a what else? The what?
the pear tart.
Oh, the pear tart.
Oh, I love the
Forget
pear
the pear
tart.
tart.
Yes.
It's even on the van. Yeah, we have a pear tart that it's always somebody asking for it when it's not on the menu, and when it is on the menu, then we can't keep up with it. It started as an apple tart, and there was too much labor on the apple tart, so I switched it to a pear tart, which is also labor but less. And then ever since that was a big boom.
Yeah.
How big is your team?
It's pretty big, yes. Dozen of people in the kitchen,
Yeah, it would have to be.
at least,
Yeah.
maybe more.
Yeah.
That's really
Wow.
cool.
A lot of people, and they put in a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, we're open now Wednesday through Saturday, but they come in and work 10, 12-hour days.
Wow.
Can I just ask real quick, Chef, what is your day in the life like? Like, how early are you getting up in the morning? When do you get to the refectory? Just trying to walk in your shoes for a day.
Well, actually, for me, it's not so bad. The cooks, yes, they put a lot of time.
Yeah.
When I was those guys' age, I was working about 90 hours a day, 90 hours a week.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And today I feel like I'm part-time because
It's more normal.
I'm more like 50, 55. So
Oh, wow. Still there a lot, especially given the days that you're open. That's pretty cool. What excites both of you about the future of the refectory? Anything that you're working on? I know sometimes you have music that you pull in to the experience.
well, I think we're going to keep going the way we are now, and that's pretty much the future. There's a lot going on this year because it's the 50th anniversary, but after that, that depends on the owner of the restaurant.
And everything I do depends on the chef. So.
Oh, yeah. A lot of codependency here. Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
No, it's just been a surreal journey, and we're just celebrating it this year and continually just creating different guest experiences. You mentioned the dinner music events in 2019 before COVID. That was kind of a time warp COVID for me. We did over 110 dinner music shows. And we do national, international touring artists. It's crazy.
A year?
A year.
Wow.
We'll never hit that number again because now we do them Mondays and Tuesdays. We do private events only Mondays and Tuesdays.
Mm-hmm.
Every now and then we do a dinner music event on a Friday, Saturday. Last night, for example, we had a wine dinner. So we do a lot of winemaker dinners. And then we're just creating events also for the 50th. We're doing a Champagne Under the Stars event in June. So we're just...
Yeah.
We need to figure out when that is.
Yeah.
I know, right? And Ben Lucas, he still
Yes.
performs, right? And
Yeah.
I bring Ben up
Yeah.
because he, just so you know, I want you to know he's working his tail off to promote you. But he'll promote whenever he's out there. He'll have me say, "Hey, can you promote that I'm going to be out at the Refectory?" I'm like, "Well, of course."
Yeah.
So Valentine's, for example,
He's doing an event on June 2nd.
Okay.
It's his 10th anniversary. He actually launched his music career at the Refectory.
That's right.
We should have had him part of this too.
I didn't even think
10
about
years
it.
within 50 years.
Yeah, he was a host, and we had Sandra Lasco, our business manager. Her husband would come in and play during the holidays. And Ben kept looking at him, and finally John invited him over to sing, and we lost the host. And he launched his music career. Yeah,
That's
10 years ago.
Such a great story. Gentlemen, Kamal, especially with you, with the 50th anniversary celebration, anything else that people should know that might be on the radar so they can be a part of this 50th celebration at the Refectory?
The best way to get connected with us is just get on our email guest list.
Yeah,
Because
okay.
everything we do, we promote through our email guest list. To your point, we don't do a lot of traditional advertising, although we do some. Most of what we do is through our email guest list or just connect with nonprofits and support them. So.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it really is. Okay, well, guys, let's have a little more fun here as we start to wrap up. We call it Rapid Fire, Columbus Edition. Are you guys ready?
Yes.
No pressure, no pressure.
I'm not.
All right, Sarah, take it away.
Okay, favorite dish currently on the menu?
Rack of lamb.
Oh,
No hesitation.
that was a quick one.
I
yeah.
know.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Okay, rack of lamb.
All right, what's
I
one?
say pear tart.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Yeah. What is one ingredient you can't live without?
Shallots.
Interesting.
Wow, I would have thought you would have said cream, maybe.
One ingredient.
I buy cream every week for him.
I was like, where's the
We go
inside
through a
joke
lot
there?
of cream. That's why it tastes so good. That's why it tastes so good. If someone's visiting Columbus for the first time, what's one thing they absolutely have to do besides eat dinner at the Refectory?
Go to the zoo.
Zoo.
Ah,
I would have said the same thing. Zoo.
yeah, it's pretty
top of mind,
amazing.
for sure.
Also award winning.
Yeah.
World-class zoo.
Absolutely.
Good one. Okay, so what's the best meal you've ever had in Columbus? They're looking at each other.
For me, it has to be at the restaurant. I mean, I'm sorry to say that, but I mean,
Don't be sorry at all.
I mean, I've had some amazing experiences there, and almost without exception, whenever we go there, my wife and daughter, the three of us, or a few years ago, we celebrated a milestone birthday. My whole family came from the East Coast, and we never know what we're getting. We just sit down, and the chef just sends out courses, and the sommelier matches wines, and those two working together can create an amazing experience. My parents at the time, they're not wine-centric people. My brothers are not wine-centric people, but the sommelier created an experience with them with wines, and it just blew their minds.
Oh my gosh, that sounds amazing.
Chef, what about you?
He eats at the Refectory all the time. I
He
don't.
only eats one place. Oh yeah.
So outside the Refectory, I'm going to say it was the gourmet market, which was became Spaggio down the road.
Yeah. All the time for me is probably once every other month. To him, it's all the time.
But Chef, gentlemen, you've known each other obviously for decades now. But Chef, I have to ask you, when Kamal does come in and eat, do you have to? I just have to ask, do you have to prep your staff like, hey, the owner's in here. We have to make this excellent. Are you on pins and needles?
Oh, the pressure's on for sure.
Yeah.
He seems like he'd be a pretty tough guy to work with.
Unbelievable.
So, yeah. Well, and one last thing. What are you both saying yes to in Columbus this summer?
This summer?
This summer.
Patios with music.
Love it.
Yeah.
I just love to get out on the river. So that's what I do on the Scioto. So
Beautiful.
I say yes to that.
Nice.
I love that. Chef Richard, Kamal, we cannot thank you enough for joining us today on this episode. I've learned, and Sarah, I'm sure you too, learned so much about you, about the Refectory, and of course, congratulations on 50 years you're celebrating this year. Such an incredible milestone, especially with how competitive the restaurant industry is too, and in Columbus. So it's amazing to see how the restaurant continues to evolve, while no doubt staying true to its hospitality and its original roots as well. So to learn more about the Refectory restaurant and its 50th anniversary celebration, just visit Refectory.com. And for more great ways to explore Columbus, you can head to ExperienceColumbus.com. So thank you for listening to Yes Columbus, and we'll see you next time. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you. Thank you.
Our
Thank
pleasure.
you.
Our pleasure. Thank you.
That's a wrap on this week's episode of Yes Columbus, an Experience Columbus podcast. Tune in next week as we take you on a tour of what's new, what's hot, and what makes Columbus a city on the rise.